Hello, welcome back to Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. Today we're going to be diving into Chapter 2, How the Past Has Influenced Us. I'm Dr. Mary Power.
I'm Dr. Larry Markson.
And we are glad you're here to join us. I do want to remind you that all of these videos are going to be on our YouTube channel, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. As this is posted, we will have the link where you can get to that. So you can always go back and watch all the chapters. But today, let's dive in.
Okay, so the name of this chapter is How Has Your Past Influenced Us? So the point is, you are a potpourri of all your past inputs, whether they come from your early childhood or your growing years, but whether you got your information as to who you are intentionally or unintentionally and on purpose, without any specific intent, it doesn't matter. You have been around and you have been subject to your mothers, to your fathers, to your teachers, to your preachers, to newspapers, to peer pressure, to fears that you have, to our different personalities, all of that. So your parents, your schooling, all of these things have added up and made you who you are today. You've accepted some things, you have rejected other things, you have some confidences, you have some insecurities, all from over the years. So it's been drummed into your poor little head since you're a kid, and you come up with the personality. Now, if you have siblings, you'll notice we all have different personalities, and yet our parents in our formative years, we all were taught the same way. So we interpret them differently.
Exactly. And in some cases, we've had different experiences even as siblings. You know, that's where it comes into school, peer pressure, relationships that you have with your friends and friends' families even. I mean, we are a melting pot of all these experiences over the years. And how you or I perceive the same situation can be totally different because we compare it back to all those experiences, the tapes we've made over the years, and that's what we process it to understand it and interpret it. So even how we process and claim our reality, the experiences we go through every day right now, can be different even though we just saw the same situation.
So one of the issues is that we were taught and we accepted some of the things that we were taught by our mothers, fathers, teachers, and preachers. I want to explain that. For mother, very important and most powerful influence in childhood. The father's the old stereotypical father. He went out and earned the bacon, and mom stayed at home. No longer true today. So you have a double input, which is okay, but a lot of us didn't have that. And we accepted things to be true that were not true. We talked about that last in chapter 1. And now I'm saying, in order for you to grow from where you are to where you want to be, we have to look back to identify some of the weakness. If you have fears, if you have doubt, if you're a worrier, if you have insecurities, if you don't feel confident, things like that, they came from somewhere. How do we, and in order to erase them, eradicate them, and replace them with better actions and concepts and attitudes, then we have to identify them. So we have to start there.
Right, we have to understand, why do we believe the way we believe? So a lot of these things we acquired through our childhood, our raising, all these influences that you just talked about. Those are technically what we call belief systems. I believe this, I believe that. My point now is, if you are in a point of decision and wanting to change your life, you have to understand, why do I believe that? We can't just blatantly say right now, well, I was raised that way. That if you're looking to embark on a journey to change, we have to be sure we are congruent and living the belief systems that really work and serve us today, not just because we were raised that way. So we have to start challenging those.
It's funny because I want to use an analogy here, but I don't want people to get pushed out of shape because it's a religious type thing. So we were raised in different religions, most of us, and we were trained as children to believe in what we believe, all the virtues of that particular religion. It was impressed upon us at home when we went to the place that we worship, and we grew up in. So we learned certain things. Now, if you were born not to your family, but to another family with a different religion, you would believe something totally opposite than what you believe now, but you believe that to be true. And so everyone says, yeah, I can understand that, but I believe what I believe. And that's the issue. What can you identify in your belief systems that are harmful to you, that hold you back, that give you pause? While I'm saying to you that I failed for 29 years of my life, and I learned how to become successful. That means if I learned that it can be taught, it can be identified, and all the action steps and thinking that goes with that can be taught, which is what we're doing now.
Exactly. And just like I mentioned in taking inventory, you're going to find that some of those belief systems are true, good, and serve you well. There's going to be some that do not. And that's what we're talking about as we go back and we're looking at our past and what has formed us and made us who we are. There's things about you right now you may not like. And if that's the case, you have to go back to figure out why you became that way. If you want to address it, change it, and be who you want to be going forward. If that makes sense.
So when I was learning, when I was going from failure to modicum of success and then to ultra success, that was a journey, not a destination. But I learned one thing that I used to quit. If I attempted to do something and I didn't do it well, let's say play tennis, then I said, I don't like tennis. I didn't give it any extra effort, blah, blah, blah. Then I changed the thinking to, if someone else can do it, I can do it. If someone can play baseball, I can. I'm not saying I'm going to be a star, but I can play baseball. Someone can play the piano, then it's possible for me to play the piano. Maybe not like a concert pianist, but to play the piano. If someone can earn so much money, or get another job, or have a happy marriage, or have better relationship with their children, or lose 50 pounds. If someone can do it, it's possible for me to do it. That was my opening belief system, my new one.
Yes, definitely. But you had to open yourself up to that. A lot of people at that moment, when they start thinking about, oh, I would love to play tennis, or, change my profession, change my career, or move to another state and start over, they get held back real quickly because, oh, well, I can't do that. I wasn't raised that way or whatever. I was told I couldn't do that as I grew up. They jump back to all the excuses of their past experiences and what they've been through instead of deciding to make that choice. We have to learn that life is all about choices. And if you decide you can't do something, that was a choice.
So the first thing I did is I wrote a list about me. I can't tell you about you. And remember, I've been teaching and coaching people for more years than I can count. One, what's wrong? I didn't like myself. I didn't think I wasn't 6'3". I didn't look like a movie star. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. So I identified what I felt inside. And then I started to make a list of what I was putting up with. So some people are shy. So I used to say to my daughter would hide behind her mother's skirt when strangers walked into the home, and people say, oh, she's shy. So that was a label put on it. I heard it. When she was an adult, she said to me, I was never shy. I just didn't like your friends. I didn't like being paraded. Here, look at my daughter. She's going to tell a poem that she learned in kindergarten. She just didn't like that. She is not shy. She's an in-control, successful woman today, but we thought she was shy. So we label. Take the labels, put them away. He is, she is. Did you hear this? What do you want from yourself? That's what I do. What do I want from myself? I want to be on time. I want to be honest. I intend, that's my intention belief. I intend to be happy, successful, and I do those things. So what I'm going to say, here's number one. Never say anything that you won't do. If you tell someone you're going to be there on time, you be there on time. Clean up your home. Clean up the trunk of your car. Clean up your garage. Success does not flow into clutter. That's one of the things you have to work on. And it may be a habit. Some people walk into dirty dishes or unmade beds. That cannot happen in a successful life. It must be organized, and I don't mean neurotically so that you leave room for things to be attracted to you.
Exactly. Success does not flow into clutter. So I've heard you say many a times from the stage, if you want success in your life, or you want happiness in your life, if you want something to change, lose 10 pounds, clean out your garage, Clean out your kitchen junk drawer. Do something that tells the universe I'm ready for more to flow in. You know, I'm ready. I'm
And
not
also,
behind
what
the eight
about,
ball.
so if you want to know who you are, well, so take stock of what television programs do you watch? Is it still Wheel of Fortune that's been on for 25 years? What kind of books do you read? What movies do you like? Tell me about your friends. You know, look at your environment or the family. I then started to, the hardest lesson I had to learn is to let go gracefully from stale relationships. People that didn't build me up and hold me up to light, they put me down sarcastically and with some humor as the guys that disguised it, not what I wanted to hear. So I put myself with people that liked me and I liked them. I surrounded myself with successes and not failures. We all have failures in our life, but like that old clown that you punch and it goes down, then you pop back up, that's me. You can put me down now, but I will not stay down. I will not, I have decided to act one step bigger than I feel.
Exactly, exactly. So if you've got that friend calling you on your phone and you pick it up and you look at it and you go, that might be one that you need to distance yourself from. It is a bleeding heart to reach out to all those people. And I'm not saying we write off family members and all of that. I'm saying you have to protect yourself to a certain degree. You can't give energy to something that's not going to serve you back because it will deplete you.
So you know what I always think of? It's capacity limitation, I call it. If you take an 8-ounce glass and you put the water into the top, the water is full. If you attempt to add more, you know, so you pour water in, it's to overflow, obviously. So you displace that water and the water's going to go out, blah, blah, blah. So in order for that you to grow, you've got to reduce some of the water that's in the glass so you can put in something new. So you've got to get rid of some bad thoughts, poor habits, so that you can put in new ideas and action steps. Number one, people say to me, number one thing, Larry, tell me what to do. Well, I can't not tell you what to do. I can tell you who to be so that you have the ability to do what you need to do, take the action steps to become successful.
You got to go through a shedding process. You've got to let go before you can put more in. And letting go is hard for people because I'm going to say they get used to having the excuses because the excuses are my comfort zone. They're my reasons to not step out and move forward because that can be, for some, that's change. That can be scary. And that I'm good with, you know, that's why sometimes the abused spouse stays in a relationship. They don't like it. It's not really where they want to be, but they don't change because it's comfort and they're scared of the unknown. We have to break out of that. That does not
right. So it's easy to say you've got to have the guts, audacity, tenacity, determination to go from one level of behavior and thinking to another. That sounds easy in words, and it's more difficult to do in practice. How sick and tired are you of being sick and tired? Stuck in the same old place on the Ferris wheel of sameness in your life? Are you open to lose weight, to dress differently, to learn something new, to meet new people, to express yourself differently within your personality? There are very timid personalities, soft personalities, and then there's bulldog personalities. I'm not asking you to change your personality because you can't just build in. I'm saying there's a successful part in every personality. You can be successful in that personality or medium, or you can be a loser in that personality. And over the time, Mary, I think we decided before that we're going to discuss fears and worries and blames and tolerations and replace them with the places that you have to be. But it's going to take work.
Right. And a big one that we will touch on very soon is forgiveness as well, because you have to, stop right now. And if I want to change and all this sounds really good, but I don't know if I can do that, the answer is yes, you can. And the process starts with just take inventory of how you got to where you are today. And that's what we're talking about is the past has influenced me and made me who I am. And I'm not discounting that at all because my past experiences by far have made me who I am. Now, some of those have been enjoyable and some of those have not. So we need to take inventory of what has served us well, what has not, and be willing to let go of what is not. Don't take up residence there. use the good stuff to be our springboard to go forward. There's a lot of life left to live, and it can be exactly what you want it to be. You have to take responsibility of who I am today and take responsibility in now my choice is going to be X, and know what that is, and that's your roadmap.
Your greatest power that you have, it's innate to all of us, is we have a power to choose, and we've made some bad choices, but we don't have to be defined by the mistakes we made. We can be defined by saying, "Ooh, I recognize that's not working in my life, and I'm going to take the action steps to change it, ameliorate that behavior into one that's more fulfilling, to get a joie de vivre." You ever notice that truly happy people just have a better feeling? They're more giving, they're more forgiving. So I think when you just brought up forgiveness, Mary, I'm going to say, why don't we make the next chapter about forgiveness? Because if you forgive yourself first, and then other people that may have hurt you or blocked you, secondly, after that, then the water comes down and we can put on some more stuff as the weeks go by in different chapters.
And it's the part that I think will let you truly let go. You have to recognize what you need to let go of, and then go through a process of forgiveness. And then I ask you to look at life in PTC, and that stands for present time consciousness. I have addressed the past, I've let it go. Now I'm looking right now, today and tomorrow and the future. You know, it's hard to even look in today if you're still living in the past. And I'm going to ask you down the road in these series, I want you looking farther ahead than just today and tomorrow. What do I really want in life? How to build it?
We're going to talk about affirmations, building yourself up in strong and noble thought. We're going to talk about written goals. Actually, what do I want? When do I want to buy? And what do I do to get it? We're going to talk about calming the chatter in your brain. All of these things over time will, believe me, I've had thousands upon thousands of chiropractic clients. I've coached thousands of people, and eventually the ones that are in the game achieve what they want to achieve, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't have had any client bases. Thousands of people wouldn't have been coming to the seminars to hear some of what you're hearing now. Mary was one of them, by the way. So she came, she was a great student, sat up front, never missed a time, did her homework, because she made decisions. That's not working for me. I'm not good at that factor in my life, and I want to be good. And now look at her, super successful businesswoman, happy in her personal life, financially secure. So you can go from one to the other with any background.
Oh, definitely. I'm asking you to open your perception. We talked about that earlier. How you perceive the world is all based on your past experiences, but you can choose to open your perception and look at things differently. You can sit here right now and say, okay, I'm going to look at this a different way. I'm going to be objective. I'm going to be open-minded. And a great story, and you've said this from the stage, it's been in some of your books, The Cookie Thief. To go back and read, Google The Cookie Thief, that's on, the internet, you can see it. But it talks about a lady's perception of a situation, and in the end, it was totally wrong. And she was perceiving it based on who she was in that moment, in that time. I promise you, it changed her experience going forward. The
author is Valerie Cox of The Cookie Thief. And I've been telling that story for years and years and years and years. And so you've got the concept of what we're going to do. Now we had the introduction. The first one is why you have to go back and clean up, make a list of what you want to fix. That's what we're saying. And starting next week, we're going to go forward and step by step take you through it. So this is going to be posted every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook. And then we will upload it to the YouTube channel, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life, so you can go back and get any chapter you missed. So It's great speaking with you this week, and we'll see you again next week.
Yes, be well.
Bye-bye.